Hello, we are almost at the end of a big year. Ay, caramba, I am sure you're so ready to put all of your energy and your focus into the next year. So, what is it that we do around this time? We usually sit down with our journal, we write our goals, we set our intentions, and we're so excited, we're motivated, we're ready. We're ready with this fresh energy to go for what we want, particularly after 2020. I know you're feeling this way because I talk to women every day. We are ready for more. And it's all amazing. But why is it that when we get to March, we feel like we've lost that steam, we've lost that connection, that excitement? And I remember I used to feel like this a lot. I would set my goals, my intentions, I was ready, and then somehow along the way it just didn't feel the same. And I had to put more energy into trying to work, put more of that push more. It just didn't feel good. And then I would be so disappointed at myself. So it just wasn't fun. The whole thing wasn't fun. Supposedly, when we're creating goals, it's meant to be exciting because creating something new or going for what we want is super exciting. Now, there's a few reasons why we do that. And I'm talking about women in general. The number one thing is we have been conditioned to take care of others. Now, this is not a bad thing. However, when it comes to achieving our goals, when it comes to having our intentions be realized, what we do is if we feel guilty for taking care of ourselves before we take care of others, which is very common, and believe it or not, this is so ingrained in all of us. What we're going to do is we're going to put a lot of energy in trying to help others or trying to make things work around us for others. But then when it gets time for us, we're either exhausted, we don't have more energy, we don't have the same energy. We don't feel the same. Number two, a lot of us, without realizing, we're setting goals from the neck up. What do I mean by this? We're not connected inside deeply with ourselves with what we really want. And particularly for me, it was actually kind of hard to know what I wanted. So a lot of what I used to do was to set my goals and intentions based on what I should, based on what would make me be successful, or what would make me have the relationship that I wanted, or the ideas that I thought that I received from others, that I received from my conditioning, from my culture, from even mentors that I follow. I thought that it was what I wanted. But what was missing is that I didn't know what I wanted. Was that really true? No, it wasn't. So when you're not really connected with what you want, it's really hard to sustain the energy of it. I trust that you're following me. And the last thing that a lot of us don't realize, and sometimes we have a hard time admitting, is a deep-seated fear of failure. So what we do, and this is the reason why then we lose the steam and the motivation, is we feel like we're dropping, right? Like we start excited, we feel like we're dropping, and then we put more energy. And now, because we don't feel that connection, we make it work. Does that make sense? We push and we work harder. We try to make it happen. And it's not a bad thing, but when it's not sustained with the true passion and with the energy of desire, because we're really connected, as I said before, we maybe did it from a should place instead of a desire place. Now we tend to push more, and now we're exhausting ourselves. So now we're getting to go for what we want, but we're not even enjoying the process. And then what's the point? So I've lived this for years. I've done this, and I remember at the end of the year just being disappointed. Even mid-year, when I would review my goals and my intentions, it just didn't feel good. So one day I came across to this vision process, and it has shifted everything for me because this is when I started to understand what was missing. And I'll tell you why. The vision is your bigger picture. It's your why. Is connected to your desires and passions. So when we are setting goals and intentions without a vision, then that's when we lose the steam and we drop that enthusiasm. But when we add the vision, we enhance that energy and we're able to sustain it. There is a technique that I came about, and through me doing it, I perfected it and I made it myself, that when you create your vision and continue to read it throughout, that is what is going to be fueling your goals and intentions. And so instead of getting to mid-year or even March and start dropping, you're going to continue to fulfill that enthusiasm, because the whole point of reaching new things or achieving more is so then you can enjoy it, not to get to the other side exhausted. Does that make sense? And if this is resonating with you, I want to invite you to the goals that you create now, to add the energy, to add the emotion to it. And if you want to receive support around it, I'm actually doing a workshop that it's a 2-part workshop. One is a Saturday and the other one is a Sunday. And so you'll have a whole week to create your vision. On the first part, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on many different things that are related to why women get in our own way. And we're going to remove those blocks. You're going to learn how to connect with the energy of receiving. You're going to learn how to tap into the energy that create worlds. This is the power of the energy of the wild woman, as I call the archetype. It's that energy that continues to feed itself within you, that you don't have to bring it from anywhere else. It comes from within because you're deeply connected with your passions. And so then we're going to tap into what language do you need to use in order to sustain that energy. It's all, trust me, it took me about 10 years to put it together. I finally decided last year to put it on a workshop format. And the women that participated last year, they loved it. And some even that were working on goals for the past 2 years, and they came to realize without even the workshop was over. But my point here is that at the end of the first session of the workshop, we're going to be doing a guided visualization where you're going to receive your vision. This is a very magical process, I have to tell you, and it's hard to explain with words, but it allows you to, again, get in touch with yourself, really connect with what you want, what you desire, and then set the goals and intentions. Does that make sense? And at the second part of the workshop, we're going to read the vision. So you're going to read the vision, and I'm going to check the energetics of it just to make sure that it's aligned with you. That's what I love doing, and that's what I'm really good at. And I would, knowing you and having talked to you and exploring what is it that you want and what you want to create, plus the vision that you received, then we're going to see if the language is aligned with who you are. So then you can move forward and continue with this vision, continue to sustain the energy. That's what you want to do. I tell you, you can use this for anything that you want to create. I use it for everything that I want to create. So not only I use it at the end of each year to create the new year, but every time I have something, a desire that comes through, I use this same vision. So if this is something that resonates with you, I'd love to invite you to join me. And we are already a nice group. You can find the link below. You can find the link in my bio. It's going to be awesome. I trust that you join us. And more than anything, what I want you to remember is this. It's huge that you add to your goals this energy, this passion energy, because when you do, that's the key to create and manifest what you want. Sending you so much love.